Tens of millions of years ago, when dinosaurs still reigned on land, another ruler silently dominated the vast oceans, the mosasaurus, the giant sea monster of the deep. It stretched over 18 meters long, its body sleek and serpentine like a sea snake, with razor-sharp jaws capable of crushing the shell of a giant turtle or the bones of an ancient shark. Its glowing golden eyes pierced through the darkness of the water, like twin torches foretelling doom for any creature caught in its sight. One morning, in the warm seas of the Cretaceous period, the surface lay calm. A small school of sharks circled, feeding on the drifting carcass of a massive turtle. Suddenly, the waters below began to tremble. A colossal shadow emerged, spreading wide like a moving island. In an instant, the mosasaurus surged upward, its jaws snapped shut, and both the turtle and several sharks vanished in a single devastating bite. Blood spread across the waves as every other creature scattered in desperate flight. It hunted not only to survive, but to assert its absolute dominance. The megalodon had not yet appeared, and ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs were mere minor rivals, no match for the overwhelming power of the mosasaurus. The tale of this colossal sea monster became a lingering nightmare within the ocean's depths. Whenever darkness descended to the seabed, schools of primitive fish huddled together, clinging to coral reefs, avoiding the deep waters, where the mosasaurus still patrolled in silence, ruling like an invisible king. Though the dinosaurs perished in a cataclysm of extinction, the legend of the mosasaurus still echoes within human imagination. Perhaps in the unexplored abysses of the ocean, descendants of this sea monster remain hidden, waiting for the day they rise again. The oceans of the Cretaceous period were a vast kingdom, stretching endlessly, where colossal creatures roamed. On land, dinosaurs reigned supreme, but beneath the water the shadows concealed another monarch, the mosasaurus. A young mosasaurus had just reached maturity, measuring over 12 meters long, its golden eyes blazing with primal fire. It was not yet a ruler, but the ancient blood coursing through its veins urged it onward. Become king or become prey. One warm morning, the sea lay calm. A swarm of ammonites floated in the waters, shimmering like fireflies in the depths. The mosasaurus surged forward, crushing dozens in a single powerful bite. Blood spread through the water, attracting other predators. From afar, the shadow of a zephactinus, a 6-meter predator with rows of jagged teeth, circled closer. Recklessly, it lunged to steal the kill. The mosasaurus twisted, whipping its massive tail with crushing force, shattering the intruder's bones and sending it sinking to the seabed. It was the first victory, and also a declaration. The journey to becoming king had begun. But the ocean would not yield its throne so easily. From the depths rose a pair of plesiosaurs, their snake-like necks lined with sharp teeth. Working together, they closed in on the mosasaurus. In the swirling currents, the mosasaurus spun suddenly, striking with lethal precision and snapping the neck of one. The other wailed as blood spread like a crimson storm beneath the waves. The mosasaurus had triumphed, but not without suffering deep wounds. It understood. In the depths of the sea, every victory must be paid for in blood. Its wounds had not yet healed when a new enemy appeared. Tylosaurus, a colossal cousin of the mosasaur, stretching 15 meters long. Two monsters of the same kind but different bloodlines clashed in a deadly duel. The waters boiled like a storm. Their jaws collided with bone-chilling force. At last, the mosasaurus delivered a fatal bite, tearing through its rival's fin. The Tylosaurus sank into the depths, its carcass soon becoming a feast for primitive sharks. This victory secured the mosasaurus's claim over its territory, yet it also meant that every creature in the ecosystem now regarded it as an enemy. Not long after, a pack of Cretoxorhina, Gigantic sharks over 7 meters long, distant ancestors of the megalodon, arrived. They attacked as a swarm, like blades slashing through the darkness. The mosasaurus thrashed violently, blood streaming from its wounds. But it used its cunning. It darted into a coral reef where the sharks could not maneuver. One by one, they were crushed and torn apart as they became trapped. When the sea finally calmed, only shredded fins drifted on the waves. The mosasaurus lifted its head high and roared into the surging waters. It was no longer a solitary hunter. Now it was the one who stood above the pack. Years passed and the mosasaurus grew to over 18 meters long. It no longer needed to prove its strength. At the mere sight of its shadow, schools of fish scattered, and other creatures dove hastily into the depths. Yet the oceans of the Cretaceous still held mysteries. In the abyss, colossal beings unknown to the world remained hidden. The mosasaurus knew the throne of the sea was never eternal. Each day it patrolled its vast territory, not to hunt, but to affirm its existence. It was the invisible king, a haunting presence etched into the memory of every creature that lived in those waters. Time passed, and darkness from the cosmos drew near. A colossal meteor hurtled toward Earth, heralding the end of days. On land, the dinosaurs would perish. In the oceans, tsunamis and storms of fire spread in every direction. The mosasaurus swam through the raging sea. It did not understand why the sun had vanished behind clouds of ash and dust. Yet it unleashed one final roar, echoing across the vast ocean like a farewell symphony of a king. The mosasaurus disappeared from Earth millions of years ago, but in the memory of the ocean, its legend has never faded.